Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of the ModSauce. I just ended the last episode and my moonlander disappeared. I don't know if the skeleton shot it and it broke or what. That's one thing that did not occur to me. Apparently my test world was on peaceful, but there are a lot of mobs here. They are all wearing little oxygen tanks and helmets. Unfortunately, you don't get anything other than the regular mob loot when you kill them. It is kind of funny to watch them float away, though. So I guess we lost whatever cargo is in the Moonlander. Not really that big of a deal. I just need to light the place up and kill some of these guys because they will be quite the nuisance. We have really good armor, so I mean, it's not really that much of an issue, but at the same time, I don't want to have to deal with the guys all the time, especially since the night cycle is so long here. They could really be a pain. So I'm just going to fly around and throw down some glowstone torches. We'll turn off night vision, and what we need to do is, first thing, set up some trees after we do some lighting up. We need to get our oxygen collectors going. Wonder if F7 works here. It does not. But we need to get the oxygen collectors going and set up the trees and then build a little structure. I did bring the oxygen collector so we can charge our oxygen tanks. You can see how fast it uses the oxygen. It actually lasts quite a while. I'm glad I made the heavy oxygen tank. So I guess when spiders jump, they really jump. Look at this. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm glad I brought extra materials for more glowstone torches. So I guess it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to just run away. We'll run straight north, let some of those mobs despawn, hopefully, and then we'll come back in a minute. While we're doing that, we can hatch a chicken. He does not have a face mask, and he dies. So I think if they spawned here naturally, like the hostile mobs, they probably would have the oxygen mask, but for whatever reason, they weren't that lucky. So I see something that's just black. It's just not rendered. Never mind. The one good thing about this is you can follow your footprints if you get lost. They're very apparent. So I guess I didn't go far enough away. None of the guys despawned. No big deal. I'm just going to throw away the rest of these eggs. I guess I could have hatched the chicken inside a place with oxygen, but not too worried about it. I have the feeder upgrade on my backpack thing, my adjustable bag, but it doesn't feed me until I get down below 2 hearts. So, man, these guys are everywhere. Why don't we just pop in down here and see what's happening? That guy was dual wielding. See, so this is moon rock. There are ores here, just like the nether. What can we trade it for? We don't really want the moon turf. That stuff isn't really worth anything. I don't know if the moon rock is a valid block to be sealable when it comes to making a structure that we can pump oxygen into. But I'll get a little bit of it, since the Tinker's Tools work so well here. All right, so that's a few stacks. If nothing else, I could build a wall to keep those guys out. see, what's that? That is moon something. Tin ore. If we hit the use on it, you get 2 dust from it. Doesn't look like it's anything really special. It's just like regular ore. I was hoping that it would be like nether ore and you got double. But, you know, whatever. Let me see if I can find my way out of here. All right, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm trying to decide if it'd be better to just build a house or build a wall. I don't really want to build a huge wall on the moon. I think we'll just build a house. How about that? Let's put our moon rock in here. We're going to save that stuff. Let me turn off my magnet and dump this other stuff way out here. And I guess we'll save the tin ore. Okay, so let's get these, and everything else we're going to need is inside the strong box there. Let me get my builder's one too. All right, so I want to keep this structure pretty modest. I don't know how big of an area the oxygen thing will fill or keep pressurized, I guess. So that's actually probably bigger than I want, but that's okay. I'll just have to deal with the mobs. I'll tell you what, let me build this thing and then I'll meet you guys back here and then we'll do the technical part. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so we are now in an enclosed structure. It is not airtight. There's no oxygen in here. And I'm guessing that the meter at the top left of the screen is about how much oxygen I've got left. I think these hold 2,700, so I'm a little under half. So we're going to need a door to get in and out of this thing. So let's do something like this. And then what I'll do is I'll put a piston here and a piston here, I think. Now I'm stuck. So we're not going to need glass right there at all. And we've got plenty of oxygen for now. I just put it right back. We got plenty of oxygen. I made all those extra tanks, so that's not that big of a deal. So what we'll have to do is we'll put a sticky piston on the ground. I'm hoping this works like I think it is. And we put one right here. So when they get a redstone signal, they'll crunch. No, not far enough away. I always do that. And they'll basically, they'll close the structure. All right, so maybe that'll do. So I brought some red alloy wire and 2 pressure plates so that when these things extend, you know, we'll just put like the decoration block on them. They'll crunch down and they'll form a seal. I hope. And I don't know if I brought any redstone torches. I don't think I did, so we're going to have to find some moon redstone ore. Not really a huge problem, but I forgot that I'm going to have to power the things and then unpower them when I want to go out. So what we'll do for now, not that big of a deal. Until I find some redstone, we'll just do this. I actually do have some logs somewhere. I guess I can just leave it open right now. I mean, we're not going to pressurize it. Make sure I have inventory space. I don't want my strong box to go floating away. We'll just bring it inside. Okay, so I need some inventory space is what I really need. Let's put these guys up here. I don't think we're going to need any more of the glass. And we don't need any more of the pistons, and the rest of this is just kind of junk. So what we're going to need is some dirt and some bone meal and some saplings and some water. And then we're going to need all these machines, especially the oxygen collector and at least one of these blocks. I didn't really plan on getting all this stuff when I got here. Aluminum wire and oxygen pipe. And this will go on the inside somewhere. How about we put it right here, just in case we have to cut off part of the room because it won't fill that large of an area. So I forget which side is which. We'll do a quick test. That is the oxygen side. And that's the power side. Okay. So we put our oxygen cable here. We get rid of this block and this block. I really don't even care if I lose those. We take our sealable aluminum wire, put it right here. That's basically a block of aluminum wire, and then the oxygen one goes not right there. It goes right here so that we can put an oxygen and a power cable on the other side of this, and it'll come inside and it doesn't break the seal. So how many guys do we have out here besides this spider that won't leave me alone? This is the one bad thing about having glass everywhere. Let me kill the few creepers around here, and then we'll set up the trees and the oxygen collectors, and then I think we'll be okay. Probably. So let's just go ahead and, if I can get down in the trench here, we'll just go ahead and dig a trench or two trenches. Like that. If you hover and then use shift to go down, that's a pretty good way to get back to the ground. So what was I going to do? I was going to put my oxygen collectors somewhere like right here. Like that. And I guess I'm just going to smash all of this stuff. And we'll put down some dirt. All right, so we've got dirt, we've got trees. Let's make sure there's light somewhere around the saplings so they don't pop off. I think once we get the trees grown, it's probably not that big of a deal. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, I didn't have nearly this many problems when I was doing some testing with this. And I wish they had grown a little taller. All right. It's not really that big of a deal, but so what we're going to do is we're actually going to knock out all the dirt that is not under a tree. And we're going to lose some dirt, not that big of a deal. We're going to put water on the moon. And it's the same water mechanics as regular vanilla Minecraft. So basically I'm just making a couple of endless pools. I don't know how much it actually helps. The wiki said something about it, so I brought some water. All right, there we go. I probably should have left a little space, but this is just to get us collecting oxygen, so it's not that big of a deal. And we're almost out of oxygen in those. Let's get another one just to make sure. So I forget which side is the oxygen and which side is the aluminum wire. If I'm wrong, we can always swap them around. Yep. No big deal. We can just flip them. Flip all of them. Very hard to control yourself on the moon. All right, everybody's connected there. So we'll just run our power cable down like this and over to the sealed thing. We'll do the same thing with the oxygen. Actually, let's come over one more just because. All right, so assuming we had something to seal that door with, we hook up some coal generators to this and we've got oxygen and power. Not a bad deal. Man, that's touchy. So I don't think there's any danger of stuff exploding on the moon. At least my power generation stuff, unless a creeper comes over, I suppose. So how I want to do that, I guess I got to get them out of here. Let's first swap an oxygen tank just to make sure that we have enough. Let me get rid of these ugly blocks and grab. I brought 7 of these. We don't need 7. Not by any means, but I brought them anyway. And where's my item conduit? Here we go. Man, those guys are very chatty tonight. So let's just put our generators, how about right here? And hopefully we can easily spin them around. And we'll just run our aluminum wire. I probably should have put them down a level, but it's not really that big of a deal. We've got about 27,000 charcoal in this thing. So I figure that should last us a good while. I did bring some solar panels as well, just in case the sun comes out. I didn't bring any of the batteries though, so that's kind of a problem, but I guess we'll figure that out. So we're going to insert all of these. Make sure we're getting some charcoal. Yep. So after the first one fills up, the other 3 will get them. And then if we take a look, all these guys are getting power. Not enough. And they're pumping oxygen into nothing. if we close this off, see, this says unsealed. If we close this room off, this will be a good test. If we put those right there, it does a check every so often. Status sealed. See, that's good. If we had the resources to make the airlock doors, then we could just put an airlock right here and not have to worry about it. This thing just checks every so often to see if it's sealed. I should be able to safely take off both of my oxygen things, and I can just chill out in here. No big deal, because we have oxygen and we're in a sealed room. So essentially all I need to do is find some redstone, make a redstone torch, and set up the pistons so they close by default, and then they open whenever I walk over a pressure plate that I have in my inventory here. So if I wanted to bother, I would have one of the guys go over to my place and turn off my import for this and throw some redstone in the pouch, but I'm not really that worried about it. What I'll do is, this is a reasonable place to end the episode. There are ores here. I'll just go ahead and I'll do some mining. And I brought the oxygen. We didn't even play with this thing. We could do that. Let me put my oxygen back on. We'll check that out real quick. I think this thing is kind of cool. I did bring my oxygen compressor so that I can fill these things back up. So I'm actually just going to put that right there. Hopefully, no, it blocks the vent. I figured something like that would happen. So I will put it under it. Does that seem... That's the wrong machine. And now we're in an unsealed room because there's too much inventory here. No, we're good. Are we still good? Yeah, we're still good. I'll just put the compressor underneath it since I can't block that vent. And then I'll hook up power, oxygen, and then we can refill our oxygen tanks. But first I want to do the bubble distributor thing. It's pretty cool. I didn't generate enough oxygen to test it in my test world, but I know what it does. So let's come outside if we can get out the damn door. If we just put this guy, I think we can just put it right here. Like that. See this bubble? It's basically making a safe place with oxygen. So as long as you're inside the blue bubble, you can breathe. We have already made a sealed place. So, I mean, I could still put this inside. And actually, this would probably be a better idea than the airlock until I get it set up, because this bubble will just stay and I don't have to worry about going in and out of a door. So we could very well use that. It does a limited area. It's not a hell of a lot bigger than our base here, so but it's pretty cool. It's making a pretty big bubble. I didn't think it would be that big. So now that I say this, why don't we replace the oxygen sealer with the bubble? I think that would be a good idea, because the oxygen sealer will just pump oxygen out here and it'll get wasted because it's not a sealed place. And you see this uses 160 a second, and those things generate, I think, what was it, 140 a piece each second. So I could stand right here, be perfectly safe, nothing to worry about. It's all good. So I'm going to charge up my oxygen tanks and stand in the safe place right here. I'm going to go mine for some redstone. And then certainly everybody, whoa, I didn't take them off, did I? Okay, good. Certainly everybody is familiar enough with vanilla Minecraft to realize how to make a piston extend and contract like a piston door. So I'm going to do that on my own, get everything set up, and then we'll continue in the next episode with a little bit of probably moon exploration, and we may fly home and get some stuff and start making a better moon base. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. As always, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please leave them down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.